Right now at 6, rain has arrived in the Bay Area, and it's just the start of a week of storms. We're tracking the impact to holiday travel and when the heaviest rain will reach your neighborhood. And if your holiday plans include a trip to Tahoe, we'll let you know how much snow is expected in the Sierra and how the storms are forcing closures at some ski resorts. Plus, major reforms coming to the Antioch Police Department that's been rocked by scandal.
I wouldn't say that our community is in a kumbaya with our police department as of yet, but trust and healing, it takes time.
We'll break down the changes in a settlement aimed at boosting transparency and accountability. And San Francisco is taking the Golden Gate Bridge and painted ladies to the Rose Bowl parade. How you can help build the city's first float in nearly 50 years.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Thanks for joining us at 6. It is a first alert weather day, the first of a series of holiday storms started in the North Bay and is making its way through the Bay Area. So here is a look at the radar right now. You can see. And let's zoom out and take a look at how the rain is impacting our Bay Area bridges. So AAA says nationwide, more than 100 million people will be driving leading up to Christmas. That might be you. And rain here won't be the only issue on the roadways. In fact, Caltrans has issued dense fog advisories for the Altamont Pass and also parts of I-80 in Solano County. We are already seeing some trouble spots right now. Lanes just reopened on Highway 101 after a crash just before the Golden Gate Bridge. It was a mess for people trying to come into San Francisco. And here is a look at the huge backup from our viewer, Rocky Catelli. He tells us they sat in this for more than 30 minutes. Caltrans says an accident closed at least 2 lanes of traffic, but again, all lanes just reopened. I want to bring in Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan with a look at where it is raining right now. Paul.
Yeah, some of the steadiest rain is falling on the Golden Gate and Bay Bridges at the moment. So take a look at the radar loop over the past couple of hours, and you can see that heavier rain, which isn't all that heavy just yet. We're talking about moderate rain showers trending right over San Francisco and crossing into Oakland within the last 60 minutes. And this activity is going to continue making its way farther and farther to the east and south across the Bay Area as we head through the rest of tonight. Amounts so far have been modest, a few hundredths of an inch of rain for most of the Bay Area, but a little more than that for the North Bay, anywhere from a tenth of an inch of rain in Napa to just short of a half inch of rain around Santa Rosa. Here's a look at Futurecast as we head through the rest of tonight. This takes us through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it shows that rain steadily making its way farther and farther to the south. Doesn't wind down entirely, and in fact, now that the rain has started, we're going to have a hard time getting rid of it over the course of the next 6 or 7 days. But a little break in the action tries to develop as the sun comes up tomorrow morning. That is not going to last very long. There is a flood watch in effect, goes into effect tomorrow and continues through Monday for the North Bay and Solano County. It's going to have to be extended across the rest of the Bay Area and through the rest of next week because we are far from done with the rain chances. This is just the first in a sequence of atmospheric rivers, or you could view it as just one big atmospheric river coming out of some 3 or 4 different pulses. The combined impact is for an AR4 on our 1 to 5 scale. So that means, yeah, we're getting some beneficial rainfall at the moment, but as more rain and heavier rain falls on already saturated ground, that's when we see increasing hazards, both localized flooding, then more widespread flooding, and the potential for wind damage as these storm systems get stronger and stronger. We will take a look at the wind aspect of these systems, especially leading up to Christmas, coming up in just a few minutes.
Paul, thank you. All right, let's get another look at the conditions out on our roadways. So our photographer, Mackenzie Eccles, thank you, Mackenzie. She's driving right now in Berkeley on 80, and you can see windshield wipers are working, and things are pretty slick on the roadway, so take it easy. And Mackenzie, thanks so much for that live shot there. And our Kenny Choi is live in downtown Napa, where businesses are preparing for a soaking over the next week. Hey, Kenny, how's it looking?
Julia, good evening. Right now, it's actually pretty light. We're seeing a light drizzle. I'm going to step out of the way. Our photographer, Alex Montano, is going to zoom in on the roads right now so you can get a better look. We're not seeing those atmospheric-like conditions. But, of course, as Paul mentioned, we are expecting them in the days to come. Now, rainfall started to pick up earlier in the afternoon as we take a look at some of the video from earlier this afternoon, making it a wet commute for many and impacting traffic throughout the day. Drivers telling us it took just a bit longer to get to where they're headed. Some Napa businesses like Downtown Joe's on Main Street say that they used to deal with a lot of flooding issues, but mitigation projects over the years have made a big impact.
We don't expect this rain to be too big, and if it does, the flood project has been protecting us for quite a few years. It's probably been 10 or 15 years since water's made it into downtown Jos.
Peatman says leading up to Christmas week, it often gets slow, but adds the rain isn't helping much. He thinks a lot of people are getting their work done early and then leaving town. I also spoke to a fire official in Petaluma earlier this afternoon. We spent some time there. He says that they're not expecting anything major today, but they are keeping a close eye on the conditions, of course, and they do expect those heavier rains in the coming days. So right now here in downtown Napa, a very light drizzle, and I know my photographer Alex and I, we're pretty happy about that because we're not soaked during this live shot, Juliet.
Yeah, I was just going to say thanks, Alex, and thanks, Kenny, for being out there for us. All right, appreciate it. All right, people taking advantage of the morning to get ready. In Petaluma, we found a man actually trying to clear the leaves out of the storm drain. And Santa Rosa had this sandbag station open for people worried about potential flooding. Well, the rainy weather is having an impact on holiday travel. Today is one of the busiest days at SFO. More than 200 flights were delayed. Now, while the website FlightAware says 13 flights were canceled, it comes as AAA projects a record number. 8 million people across the country are expecting to fly this holiday season. So the storm system is also impacting drivers heading up to Tahoe this holiday weekend. Look at that. Right now, chains are required on Highway 80, starting from Kingvale in Placer County to the Donner Lake interchange. Meanwhile, no chain requirements on Highway 50, but the drivers are dealing with slippery roads due to the rain. And we can certainly show you in those live pictures, it is slick out there. Tracking the storm and the conditions on the roads all the way up to the holiday. That's what we're doing. And you can find the latest on KPIX.com and also streaming on CBS News Bay Area. All right, turning to other news now. Today, the Antioch Police Department agreed to major reforms to settle a civil rights lawsuit. The move follows a 2022 scandal that rocked the department when roughly half of its police force was placed on leave for sending and receiving racist text messages. Several officers were later convicted of violating people's civil rights and sent to prison. Dahlin reports on the reforms and also reaction from community members.
The lawyers who sue the city of Antioch are calling it a historic settlement because the city chose to partner with them instead of fighting them to reform the police department.
So, we have signed this agreement.
The lead attorney and the Antioch city manager signed the police reform agreement on Friday, signaling a major step forward for the embattled police department.
We had bad police. We are in a healing process. So I wouldn't say that our community is in a kumbaya with our police department as of yet.
Portia Taylor is the chair of the Antioch Police Oversight Commission. She says the reforms will help ensure transparency and accountability.
We are going to be patient because our community was hurt by our officers, and they deserve the time to learn the new officers, to gain the trust.
The agreement comes after 23 people sued the Antioch Police Department in 2023, alleging officers engaged in racial profiling and used excessive force. The FBI also accused many officers of writing and receiving racist text messages, using the N-word and depicting black people as monkeys and gorillas. The investigation found some officers even falsified police reports. Many of those officers resigned, and a couple of them went to jail for violating people's civil rights.
We are very much rebuilding the police department, but we are also understanding that as we rebuild, we are changing the culture. And me and my executive team sets the standards of what good policing is in the city of Antioch, how we work with the community, setting our standards and setting our expectations so that this will not happen again.
Police Chief Joe Vigil says the reforms will include better training for officers, stricter oversight, and faster investigations into officer complaints. The department will also conduct use of force audits and expand the use of body-worn cameras. In addition, there will be an early warning system to flag problem officers.
An early warning system, but all of you should know that it's very important to identify officers early who may be problematic. Doesn't mean you have to terminate them, but it does mean you'll give them an opportunity to correct their behavior.
Many community members believe these steps will help ensure constitutional policing in their city.
Many still have a lack of trust in the police, and I believe it's going to take some time We have made progress, but we are not there yet.
Portia agrees and says she sees a future where the community and police work as one team.
I'm optimistic for sure. We're going in the right direction, right? And as long as we, our trajectory continues, I foresee Antioch being a leader in how to rebuild and change the culture of policing.
The Antioch Reform Agreement is somewhat similar to the federal oversight over at the Oakland Police Department. Now, lawyers do expect the Antioch Agreement to last no more than 5 years, so much shorter. The Oakland oversight has gone on for 20 plus years now.
A vintage fashion shop in Santa Rosa is back open with boarded windows after a pickup truck crashed into the business yesterday. And get this, the owner tells us this is the 4th time a vehicle has actually crashed into her shop. It all stemmed from a domino effect crash. Police say a car ran a red light at 3rd and Railroad Streets. That car then hit a truck, which collided with another car before flying into the windows of Haute Couture Vintage Fashion Shop on 3rd and Wilson Streets. The owner tells us her employees inside heard the whole thing and were worried some longtime customers had been hit.
She and my other employee were over in the other part of the store, and they were doing some display work, and they heard screeching tires, which is not an unusual sound to hear down here. So Tristan was like, somebody's out there being crazy, until kaboom! And immediately she was like, oh no, have those people left? Because she knew they had paused out here. Well, fortunately, they were long gone. And that has been, interestingly, the thing of every single one that's happened here.
The shop owner said she has asked the city to build some obstructions on the curb to protect her shop, but says officials have refused to do so. All right, still ahead, right here at 6, Dungeness crab season won't start in time for Christmas, but we do know when fishermen will be able to drop their traps. Plus, San Francisco will be in the Rose Parade for the first time in close to 50 years. How you can help build the float.
Everyone who comes down to Union Square is a part of this magic. You're contributing to our comeback.
Dungeness crab season won't start until after the new year. The Department of Fish and Wildlife announced today the commercial season is set to open January 5th. There will be limits on how many crab traps boats can use at the time. So the limits change depending on where on the coast you're fishing. The season was delayed after dozens of humpback whales were spotted in the Bay Area. The environmental group Oceana says in 2025, 4 humpback whales were caught in crab gear. For the first time in decades, San Francisco will be represented in the New Year's Day Rose Parade in Pasadena with its very own float. Today, the city asked locals to help decorate the 55 Believe in San Francisco float. Our Laureen Ayub joined volunteers who say the effort made them feel real proud to be from the city by the bay.
San Francisco is getting ready for the new year. After 50 years, the city is participating in the Rose Parade, and volunteers are here all participating to create some Bay Area magic for 2026.
A classic San Francisco Victorian home. This is just one of many iconic Bay Area visuals you'll catch as the city gets ready to showcase their float at this year's Rose Parade in Pasadena. Volunteer Nirshi Armagam came out to help with the creation.
Such a special moment to have our own float and the Rose Parade, so I just wanted to contribute in whatever way I could.
Volunteers of all ages were welcomed to help bring the float to life at the Winter Walk in Union Square. Nirshi says that communal creativity is exactly what she loves about the city by the bay.
I really like the art scene in San Francisco, and it's nice to see more of it out here. So to have something like this and have it very hands-on and have normal people just be able to come in and contribute in any way we can, I think it's really important to have the community see this as well.
Organized by San Francisco Travel, the float will debut early in the parade on New Year's Day.
San Francisco's on the rise. It's time for us to be loud and proud again. And so we're just happy that we can bring this to the city and then take it down to Pasadena. It was just time for us to get that message out to everyone around the world who sees this parade. So we're just happy to be able to bring that to the community and then to the world.
The 55-foot floral tribute will be entitled Believe in San Francisco. The fresh flowers will not be applied until the day before New Year's.
I think it's exciting to know that I played like a really small part in it. So yeah, I think it'll be cool to watch it this year and be like, hey, like I was there working on it.
The Bay Area making its mark all across the Golden State.
So for anyone wanting to join the effort, the hands-on experience will be at Union Square's Winter Walk from 11 a.m. to 9 at night through Sunday. All right, if you're using the post office to send gifts to loved ones this year, tomorrow is the last day to send them off and make it in time for Christmas. This is for Priority Mail Express service. The post office in Petaluma says this week alone, they've processed over 45,000 packages, including one from Courtney on its way to Southern California, FYI.
I am shipping out a blanket that I made for my grandma. She's in the hospital, but it's also her Christmas present, so hopefully she likes it.
Of course, she will love it. And not all post office hours are the same, so it's recommended you go online to check your nearest location. All right, let's take another look outside. Woo! Fall is tracking the series of storms. This is the Bay Bridge backup. We're going to tell you what it means for the holiday after the break. Wow, look at this. The upcoming storms expected to bring some much needed snow to the Sierra. It's also forced Boreal Mountain and Soda Springs ski resorts to close over the weekend. Boreal is scheduled to reopen Monday, while Soda Springs is set to open back up on Christmas Eve. And the roads are definitely requiring chains. Be advised.
Not yet. They will be.
Why did I think I was Caltrans?
By Christmas Eve, they will, because
Okay.
that's when the snow is really going to be falling and really sticking. They're going to get rain to start.
Just have them just in
Yeah,
case.
just be ready.
I've been there.
Yeah, it's going
Anyway.
to be complicated to say the least. So let's put a smile on your face first before we
Please.
get into the complicated holiday forecast.
Oh, walk your dog soon.
Yeah, Milo in play mode.
Aw.
Hope he can get out or has an indoor place to run around because, yeah, outside time.
Yeah.
Short supply for all critters as we
Okay.
head through the next several days. Let's get into what's happening. We'll start with a look at First Alert Doppler as things stand right now across the Bay Area with that rain that was falling more heavily over the Golden Gate and Bay Bridges right around the peak of rush hour, now making its way a little farther across down the peninsula and across the bay over the Oakland Hills into the Tri-Valley. We are going to be seeing that rain move farther and farther south. This is Futurecast through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and you see the rain gradually progressing farther to the south, but continuing for much of the night, and then a little break in the action develops for the first half of the day tomorrow. Again, that's the time frame to try to sneak out and walk your dog through the leftover puddles, because more rain is going to be moving in by early afternoon, and that is going to continue. This is from 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon through 11 o'clock in the evening. Light to moderate rain, giving way to some heavier rain in the North Bay. This is where the flood watch is in effect starting tomorrow. But again, that flood watch, they're going to have to extend that across the rest of the Bay Area and well beyond Monday, because the rain is going to continue. That heavier rain makes its way southward across the Bay Area as we head through Saturday night into early Sunday morning. So there could be some localized flooding issues already to start the day on Sunday. And the rain will continue. This next simulation from 7 a.m. through 3 p.m. just shows that widespread, moderate to occasionally heavy rain continuing for much of the day and some gusty winds. I'll show you that momentarily. We'll go from 3 o'clock in the afternoon Sunday through 11 p.m. And that heaviest rain starts to shift a little farther to the east, but still some leftover off and on light showers are going to continue Sunday night into early Monday. We don't completely dry out at any point over the next 7 days, but a tiny break in the action before the next wave of rain is going to be lining up offshore by mid-morning on Monday, and that'll be heading towards us later in the day Monday. But let's just add up the rain with this kind of first surge. That's going to be through 10 a.m. Monday. Futurecast for the northern half of the Bay Area indicates 2 to 4 inches of total rainfall just with this first batch, and then another 1 to 4 inches of rain on top of that later in the week. For the southern half of the Bay Area, the amounts will be more modest, especially farther to the south around Monterey, but we're still looking at a decent amount of rain just with this first surge, and the winds will be a concern, but not top of mind on Sunday. 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts, likely the strongest we're going to see on Sunday. The wind energy, more of a concern with the subsequent systems, especially late Tuesday into Tuesday night. These are the estimated gusts. Inland, we're talking about 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts. Around the bay, 50 to 60 miles an hour, and at the coast, 60 plus mile an hour gusts. So tree damage, much more likely. More widespread power outages are going to be a concern as we head right into Christmas Eve. And totaling up the rain from Monday through the end of next week, again, another 1 to 4 inches of rain is likely, and some spots are going to overachieve on what the forecast models are estimating. And in the Sierra, while this first wave is too warm to drop any kind of significant snow, especially at lake level, the snow levels are going to drop, especially beginning on Tuesday and then continuing Christmas Eve on Wednesday and Christmas Day on Thursday. There we go. Anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 feet of snow at lake level, and in the higher elevation, several feet of snow. Travel is going to be treacherous on I-80 and US 50 for the holiday. So it is a complicated forecast, to say the least. We are going to be here keeping you ahead of it as we head through this sequence of 6 straight first alert days. Pretty much every other day brings the most impactful weather in terms of the heaviest rain and the strongest winds. It's going to be Sunday, then again Tuesday, especially late Tuesday into Tuesday night, and then again for Christmas Day on Thursday. Be patient with your travel plans. Check ahead to make sure flights are on time, and just take it easy out there. Be prepared for power outages and some tree damage, as well as those gusty winds move in, especially late Tuesday and then again for Christmas Day. Jules?
Yeah, and Paul will let us know when we need chains, right?
Yes.
All right, Paul, thanks. When we come back, San Mateo County's new sheriff added personal shopper to his job description today. So the clock is ticking for you to get that last-minute holiday shopping done. If you were at the Redwood City Target today, you may have noticed a big crowd, and here's why. It was all for a good cause. The San Mateo County Sheriff's Department's 3rd annual Shop with a Hero event. First responders and military personnel were paired with 100 kids in San Mateo County for a shopping spree.
It's a great opportunity because some of these kids really come from disadvantaged homes and areas, and we want to make sure that everyone gets a gift for Christmas.
Organizers say the kids were each able to get $200 worth of gifts funded by private donations. CBS Evening News is next right here. Local news always on our streaming service, CBS News Bay Area. We're back here in 30 minutes with CBS News Bay Area at 7. We'll see you then.